I know that you have been excited for each day that has come through. Now, the song for today is Every Time's Just Right. And let me explain to you how this one goes at the beginning. We have numbers at the beginning. It says number 1, number 2, number 3, and 4. The first time we sing verse 1, obviously, it'll just be praise God first thing in the morning, praise God in the middle of the day, evening, bedtime, middle of the night, every time's just right for praising God. When you see God, what happens there is you see a big bar line and 2 little dots. A big bar line, 2 little dots. That basically means we will go back to the beginning of the music, which means we will repeat. And verse 2 is basically the same verse as verse 1. Okay? So we don't have to do that one again. So let's jump to verse 3. It is basically the same words except for praising God, we thank God. And you see those words on your sheet music. And then verse 4 is we love God. Now, after the end of verse 4, let me go through that with you real quick. Love God first thing in the morning, love God in the middle of the day, evening, bedtime, middle of the night, everything's just right by loving God. Now what happens here is you'll see a bracket that says 4. That means we'll keep going to the rest of the song, okay? So when we do that last little bit, it's just right for loving God. Then key change. Then we have verse 5. Praise God first thing in the morning. Praise God in the middle of the day. Evening, bedtime, middle of the night. Everything's just right for. Now, what happens here is it's a little tricky because you have every time's just right. Now, I think I said everything, but it's every time. We all make mistakes. So when we get to the last line, we go, just right for praising God. Then we go, just right for thanking God. Just right for loving God. Just right for praising God. Praise God. And that's what will happen there. So on the 4th time after praising, you go to the 4th bracket, and the little X's with the line means you clap. Praise God. So let's do that little bit there, okay? So let's start right at the key change. It is, praise God first thing in the morning, praise God in the middle of the day, evening, bedtime, middle of the night, every time's just right for praising God, just right for thanking God, just right for loving God, just right for praising God. Praise God! And make it real nice and loud so that way your neighbors can hear you and they can join in on the song next time.
Much like our other songs, in this song, our feet are just going to be doing a real simple step, touch, while our hands are doing something else. So as always, we're going to start to the right, step, right, touch, step, left, touch, right, touch, left, touch. Okay, and for our hand movements on this one, we're going to start with praise God and then hands down. So praise God first thing in the morning, praise God in the middle of the day. Then we're going to circle around. We're going to walk, evening, bedtime, middle of the night, and you end back at the center. And then we're going to say every time's just right. And then we're going to take 2 pointers like this with your fist and stack them and say just right. And then praising God. So let's put that all together. We're going to start with the step to the right. Okay. Praise God first thing in the morning. Praise God in the middle of the day. Step around. Evening, bedtime, middle of the night. Every time's just right. Just right for praising God. Okay? So then the next verse is very similar. We're just going to change the verb. So instead of saying praise, this verse is thank. Thank God. So it's going to be almost the same, just a little bit different. So let's try the whole thing. So starting with our step right, we're going to say, thank God in the middle of the morning, thank God in the middle of the day, evening, bedtime, middle of the night, every time's just right for thanking God. So just a little difference there. The third verse, almost the same, the only difference is we're going to say love this time. So we're going to step to the right and say, love God first thing in the morning, love God in the middle of the day, evening, bedtime, middle of the night, every time's just right for loving God. Oh, I forgot the just right. So we're going to step around. Evening, bedtime, middle of the night, every time's just right for loving God. Okay, so at the end of this song, it gets a little bit tricky because we're going to go through basically the steps for all three verses in a row. So at the end, we're going to say, every time's just right for praising God, just right for thanking God, just right for loving God. And at the end, we're going to say, praise God, with hands up like that. Okay? So let's put that last part together again, all together. So at the very end, we're going to say, every time's just right for praising God, just right for thanking God, just right for loving God, right for praising God, and then at the end, praise God. And that's it.
All the time and everywhere we give thanks and praise to the God who's with us every minute in every place, giving strength, teaching love, guiding and surrounding us all the time and everywhere. All the time and everywhere we give thanks and praise to the God who's with us every minute in every place, giving strength, teaching love, guiding and surrounding us all the time and everywhere. All the time and everywhere we give thanks and praise to the God